You see that folder? That folder exists on millions of Windows 11 machines right now, and most people, most technically aware people, have no idea what is inside it. Today is not a scare video. I'm not here to get your watch time with fake panic. I'm here because May 10th, 2025 came and went. Microsoft quietly flipped a switch. And if you own a Windows 11 PC with a Copilot Plus badge on it, or if you bought a laptop in the last 12 months, there's a non-zero chance that your computer has already started logging what you do. Not what you search, not what you type, everything. Every window you opened, every document you scrolled through, every website you visited, even in private mode. Captured, indexed, stored locally as snapshots, and now, in some configurations, being processed by AI models that summarize your activity into searchable memory logs. This is Windows Recall, and today I'm going to show you exactly what it stores, why it is a serious security problem, and the exact steps to shut it down permanently. Windows Recall was announced at Microsoft Build 2024 as the flagship feature of Copilot Plus PCs. The pitch was simple. Your PC remembers everything for you. You can search your own history like a search engine. What was that document I had open 3 weeks ago? Just ask Recall. It knows. Microsoft called it a photographic memory for your PC. What they did not lead with, what got buried in the fine print, is that to build that photographic memory, Windows is taking screenshots of your screen every few seconds, continuously, in the background, while you work, while you browse, while you do your banking, while you type your passwords. Those screenshots get processed by an on-device OCR engine, which stands for optical character recognition, and that engine reads the text visible in every single frame. That text gets indexed into a local database, and that database becomes your recall, your searchable timeline. When Recall was first announced, Microsoft said it would roll out automatically to all Copilot Plus PCs starting June 2024. Within 48 hours of that announcement, the security community lost its mind. Researchers immediately pointed out the obvious. You're creating a locally stored, continuously updated record of everything that has ever appeared on your screen. Passwords typed in plain text, captured. Banking details on screen, captured. A private message from a family member, captured. A medical document you opened, captured. Microsoft paused the rollout. They said they would make it opt-in. They said they would add encryption. They said they would add protections. And then, quietly, they started rolling it back out. May 10th, 2025 was a significant date in that rollout. A Windows update push to eligible Copilot Plus machines re-enabled or fully activated the recall feature for users in expanded regions. Not loudly, not with a big pop-up asking for your consent, a feature update, a checkbox buried in settings. And that is why you are watching this video. Let me be precise about what this data looks like, because precision matters. Windows takes periodic screenshots called snapshots, while Recall is active. The interval varies based on activity, but is typically every few seconds during active use. These are full resolution captures of your entire display. Multi-monitor setups capture all screens. Each snapshot is passed through an on-device OCR engine. This engine reads all visible text in the image, including browser, URLs, document content, email subjects, application, data, and everything rendered to your screen. And it indexes all of that into a local SQLite database. The primary database lives in your app data folder under a directory called Core AI in a file called ukg.db. This is a standard SQLite database, no special tools required to open it. A free application called SQLite Browser opens it in seconds. Inside are tables containing timestamps of every captured snapshot, OCR extracted text from each snapshot, application names and window titles, file paths that were visible, website URLs that appeared on screen, and semantic search index data. The actual snapshot images are stored in a folder called Image Store inside that same Core AI directory. These files and the database together form a complete, searchable, time-stamped record of your screen activity. Now here is the part that got security researchers genuinely alarmed. In the initial implementation, and this has been documented by independent researchers, the database file was not encrypted. The image store folder was not encrypted. The files were readable by any process, running as your user account using standard user-level permissions. That means any application you run, any script that executes, any piece of malware that achieves user-level access to your machine has immediate, unobstructed access to your entire recall history. Think about that for a moment. Traditional data. Theft requires attackers to hook into running processes, intercept network traffic, or deploy keyloggers that capture data in real time. That is technically complex. It requires sustained access. Recall changes the equation completely. A piece of malware does not need to monitor you over time. It just needs to reach your machine once, copy the database, copy the image store folder, and exfiltrate them. In one operation, an attacker has months or years of your screen history. Every password you have typed in a visible field, every account number, every private conversation, every document. Security researcher Kevin Beaumont published proof of concept code demonstrating how to extract and search the recall database in minutes. Microsoft has since added some protections. The database is supposed to be encrypted at rest in updated implementations. Sensitive content filtering is supposed to redact credit card numbers and passwords. Windows. Hello biometric authentication is supposed to be required to view recall data. The phrase supposed to is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that paragraph. Independent testing has shown inconsistent enforcement of these protections. The encryption protects data on disk, but does not protect against an attacker who achieves code execution under your user context, because the encryption decrypts automatically for your running session. The sensitive content filtering has been demonstrated to miss data regularly, and the Windows Hello requirement protects the recall user interface, not direct database access. The bottom line is that this data exists on your machine, it is rich with sensitive information, and the protection model has documented gaps. Now let us check whether your machine is actually affected. Press the Windows key and R together, then type %, local app data %, then /core AI / and hit enter. If File Explorer opens a folder, recall data infrastructure exists on your machine. If you get a location not found error, you are likely not affected, or recall was never activated. You can also open Task Manager by pressing Control, Shift, and Escape together. Go to the Details tab and look for processes named AIXhost.exe or screenshotwin.exe. If either is running, the recall capture pipeline may be active. You can also go directly to Settings, then Privacy and Security, then Recall and Snapshots. If this menu exists on your machine, recall is installed and the toggle there tells you if it is currently enabled. The first step to shut this down is going to Settings, then Privacy and Security, then Recall and Snapshots, and turning the toggle off. This is the first step, not the last step. The toggle disables active snapshot capture, but it does not delete existing data, does not prevent the feature from being re-enabled by updates, and does not address the underlying service. Do this, then keep going. Next, delete your existing recall data. In that same settings menu, look for an option to delete recall data or clear all recall snapshots and click it. You can also do this manually with a PowerShell administrator window. Right-click the Start button and select Terminal with admin permissions, or Windows PowerShell with admin permissions. Then run the following commands. First, stop the relevant processes by running stop process with the name AIXhost using the force flag. Do the same for screenshot win, then remove the recall data folder by running remove item targeting your local app data core AI path using the recurse and force flags. This deletes the database and the image store entirely. Next, disable the background services that recall depends on. Open the services. Application by pressing Windows and R, typing services.msc, and pressing Enter. Look for Windows Recall Service or AI Experience Service. Right-click each one, open Properties, set the startup type to Disabled, click Stop, then Apply, then OK. You can also do this through PowerShell by retrieving all scheduled tasks with names containing the E. Word Recall or AIX, and running the Disable Scheduled Task command on each one. If you are on Windows 11 Pro or Enterprise, Group Policy Editor gives you a hard administrative lock. Press Windows and R, type gpedit to MSC, and press Enter. Navigate through Computer Configuration, then Administrative Templates, then Windows Components, then Windows AI. Inside Windows AI, find the policy called Turn Off Saving Snapshots for Windows and set it to Enabled. If you see a policy called Allow Recall to be Enabled, set that to Disabled. Close Group Policy Editor and run gpupdate/force in an admin terminal to apply the changes immediately. This is an administrative level lock. Even if a Windows update re-enables recall at the settings level, Group Policy overrides it. If you are on Windows 11 Home and do not have Group Policy Editor, you can make the same change through the registry. Before editing the registry, always back it up first. Open Registry Editor by pressing Windows and R and typing regedit. Click File, then Export, and save a backup file somewhere safe. Now navigate to HKEI Local Machine, then Software, then Policies, then Microsoft, then Windows AI. If the Windows AI key does not exist, create it by right-clicking the Windows key, selecting New, then Key, and naming it Windows AI. Inside that key, create two new DORD 32-bit values. The first should be named Disable AI Data Analysis with a value of 1. The second should be named Allow Recall with a value of 0. You can also do this entirely through an admin PowerShell window, which is faster and less error-prone. Create the registry path. If it does not exist, then use set item property to write both values. Restart your machine after applying these registry changes. The final layer of protection is locking the core AI folder itself with permissions, so that even if some process tries to recreate it, it cannot write data there. In an admin PowerShell window, you can use the getACL and setACL commands to disable permission inheritance on the core AI folder, remove all existing access rules, and add a deny rule for your current user account that blocks write. Modify, create files, and create directories operations. What this does is create an empty core AI folder with a deny rule for write operations. If any process attempts to create recall database files or snapshot images in this location, the write operation will fail, even for your own user account. I want to be honest with you about something. Windows recall is a symptom, not the disease. The disease is a broader trend where the operating system is increasingly being used as a data collection platform. Recall is the most visible and dramatic manifestation of that trend, but it is not alone. Windows 11 also sends telemetry data to Microsoft by default. Under the optional diagnostic data setting, which is the default on some configurations, this includes significantly more than basic device information. You can reduce this by going to Settings, Privacy and Security, Diagnostics and Feedback, and setting it to required diagnostic data only. Turn off Improve Inking and Typing and turn off Tailored Experiences. Windows also logs your activity and, if a Microsoft account is connected, syncs it to the cloud. Disable this at Settings, Privacy and Security, Activity History by turning off both Store My Activity History on this device and Send My Activity History to Microsoft. Windows also assigns your device an advertising ID used to build a profile for targeted advertising across apps. Turn this off at Settings, Privacy and Security, General, by disabling the option to let apps show you personalized ads. None of these are as dramatic as recall, but together they represent a comprehensive data collection infrastructure built into your operating system. Addressing recall, without addressing the others, is patching one hole in a screen. Here's the complete checklist of everything to do. First, go to Settings, Privacy and Security, Recall and Snapshots, and toggle it off. Second, delete all existing recall snapshots through Settings. Third, run the asagimanam PowerShell script to delete the core AI folder. Fourth, disable recall-related scheduled tasks through PowerShell. Fifth, if you are on Pro or Enterprise, apply the group policy setting in Windows AI to turn off snapshots. Sixth, apply the registry keys for Disable AI Data Analysis set to 1 and allow recall set to 0. Seventh, lock the core AI folder permissions through the ACL script. Eighth, restart your machine. For additional hardening, set diagnostics to required only, turn off tailored experiences, turn off the advertising ID, switch Windows Search to classic mode, and consider using a local account instead of a Microsoft account for your Windows login. Here's the thing about Windows Recall that Microsoft will never say directly. The feature was designed to be useful, genuinely useful. The ability to search your own history like a search engine is a compelling idea. I understand why engineers got excited about it, but useful and safe are not the same thing. And when a feature that continuously captures everything on your screen ships in a state where the storage is accessible to any user-level process, with no encryption, no access controls, and no clear notification to users, that is not a privacy feature gone slightly wrong. That is a fundamental security failure. You deserve to know what your computer is doing. You deserve the ability to turn it off, and you deserve a clear technical explanation of how to actually turn it off, not just a toggle buried in settings that a future update can quietly flip back. That is what this video was. Take care of your data. Nobody else will do it for you.